Hey everybody, it's Chad from Stick's blog. I'm Stick. Just want to do a quick little video and show you I've been out here playing today with my tarp and my CLoudKilt and just messing around with it, playing with my cook system and stuff too. But anyway, a while back I did a video on this tarp. This is my 6.5 by 10, 6.5 feet wide by 10 foot ZPacks Cuben fiber tarp. And as you can see here, I have it set up in the A-frame. You can see I'm using one of my trekking poles in the back to pull out this guy line to give me just a little bit of room down here. The other day I set this up in an A-frame, and I was really, or not the A-frame, the half pitch pyramid, which is what it is now, and I was pretty happy with the way it went up. And I was out here today and I started thinking about, well, how could I make this a little bit more storm-proof in this pitch, because there's a ton of room inside. You can see all the room there. You can see that's a 20 inch by 72 inch pad. You can see how much room is at the head and the foot. There's plenty of clearance. For me, I'm 5'10". If you was too tall, you wouldn't be able to fit. But as you can see, I've got this thing down on the ground all the way around the edges. So this would be a storm pitch mode. And what I've done is I've taken my CLoudKilt and I've kind of made a beak out of it. I've got it up over this front here, and what I've done is usually when I carry this tarp, I'll carry 4 sections of line that are about 8 feet long and 4 sections of line that are about, I think, 4 feet long, something like that. I can't remember. So what I've done is I've got the 4 long ones. I've got one at the back corners, at the 2 back corners, and then I've got one on that pull out to pull that out, and then I've got one at the peak here that pulls it down. And then the other tie outs, it doesn't really matter because those are just staked down to the ground. But what I've done is I've took the long tie out on the corner and I've attached it to the corner of my CLoudKilt. And what that's done is that's kind of pulled it across the front, and then of course I've just taken the stretchy cord and looped it over the top of my trekking pole here. And then I took the bottom corners, and I've actually, there's a short cord attached to the 2 front ones, and I've put an adjustable loop, adjustable knot on there. That way I can tension it down, and basically what it's done is it's given me a beak. So I don't know how well you can see that. Now that's not going to completely, there's still plenty of room for if there's side driven rain or anything to come in, but for the most part I think that if I was to set this up with most of the storm and everything coming from the back or the sides, I think that this would have me pretty well covered. The only thing is of course I would have to duck down to get up inside there. You know, I would have to do that, and that would be similar to getting in and out of my hexamid. But actually this setup with the beak now, it kind of reminds me of the hexamid just a little bit. Okay, so real quick I'm going to just go ahead and crawl in here, and of course like I said I would have to actually crawl up underneath. And then there we go. I don't know how much you can see, but the seam, the middle seam is right about at my shoulders. My head is barely touching the top, but I could go ahead and lay down in here. Let's see. There we go. And that's about it. There's a possibility my sleeping bag may touch at the foot end, but if it did, you know, that's not really a big concern. But I think that there would be plenty of room, and I might could come up just a little bit, but then again, since the front's pulled in, this is probably the optimum area. One other thing I wanted to show you, if you follow my blog, you'll notice I recently just got a chrome dome umbrella. So one other thought that I could do is and there we go. I think that would give actually pretty good coverage right there. Just a little bit extra, you know. But anyways, you can see if I actually use my umbrella too, of course I would have to secure it in there somewhere, but that would really block a lot of any kind of rain or anything that may come in. Of course, there is potential along the sides, but you know what? This is actually, you know, I'm taking advantage of a lot of different pieces of my kit. Of course, I have my tarp, but then I'm also using my rain gear. I will be using both pieces of my rain gear to help block more wind. And I think it will work. Of course, there is this little hole up here, but I could probably just hang my hat or something up here. But then again, if it was raining and wind was blowing, I don't know. That would just be something I would have to figure out. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to kind of show you this and see what everybody else thought. Anyway, appreciate you watching. I'll see you next time. Later.